Hi, my name is Sebastian Rubio, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm a freshman here at the University of New Mexico. I am not an Albuquerque native, but I've been living here for over 10 years, and I love the city. Today, I will be talking about one of the problems I see in the city that has not been addressed and is very near and dear to my heart. The problem I will be talking about today will be the lack of video game opportunities for children of low-income households in the city of Albuquerque. Now, you might be thinking, why do I care about this issue? Well, if you give me 6 minutes of your time, I'll explain why you should care and how you can help solve this issue. Now, reason number one for kids not being able to have access to video games is due to money. Albuquerque has a lot of low-income areas in the city. It's home to a lot of low-income families, and it's not their fault they can't afford the games. They're just trying to provide for their families and get on by, which is totally respectable and commendable. Second reason is because a lot of parents don't see video games as a valid hobby or a good thing to sink time into. They would much rather put their son in an activity or sport that's more traditional, such as baseball. They don't see video games as being worth their time or them getting any type of value out of it. The last reason for the lack of opportunities for kids to play video games is due to negative stereotypes. One massive stereotype that is held through the ages is that video games are a massive waste of time and you'd be better off doing something different altogether. This stereotype paints games in a negative connotation and doesn't allow it to show the great things that gaming can do for kids and people. Now, this message is directed to Albuquerque Public Schools. I went to an Albuquerque public school, Painted Sky, as an elementary schooler, and during my time, I wish we had something like this. It would be awesome, and it would have been a great thing to experience as a young kid to hang out with my friends and play video games at school when I did not have a chance to at home. Now, my solution to the problem starts at the state government. They have the power to give schools funding as they control the schools. So, the first part of the solution would be to have the state give more funding to the schools in order to be able to start this process of allowing kids to have more opportunities to play video games in a school environment where it's controlled and safe for them. The second part of the solution would be to have elementary schools, such as this one, start an after school games club where kids could go and play video games with their friends and classmates after school for about an hour. It would work the same as an after school club, such as art club, photography club, things of that nature, and the schools would handle it. As stated in the previous slide, this would work as an after school club. Now, clubs are very popular in elementary schools as kids always want to do something after school that's fun and engaging with their friends. And this would work the exact same way, except instead of being art or photography or anything like that, it would be video games instead. The next step in this solution would be to have the schools go out and buy consoles for the kids to use. An example of this is in the picture, such as the PS5 or a Nintendo Switch. They would obviously go and buy multiple controllers to have multiplayer with the kids and also buy age appropriate games so they could experience the joys without having to be shown mature content. The next step would also be to hire workers who love kids and are willing to do this job. Once again, it would be after school, about an hour to an hour and a half. They would be trained in how to set up the PS5, how to set up the consoles, how to work with the kids, how to make sure everyone's having a safe and fun time, and that no one is having a terrible time. Now, this pie chart is a representation of a survey I did, including 6 participants. Two of the participants said no to this idea, while four of them said yes. I believe that this data shows that the overwhelming majority of people are in support of this idea, and with the right type of leadership and funding, it could work. Now, the real key to the solution is having a partnership and full agreement with everyone included in this solution. It doesn't work if not everyone's on the same page and not everyone's 100% support of it. So having this agreement and 100% understanding of every single working part of this is extremely important. Now the costs are not as expensive as one would think. So obviously you'd have to pay for the workers, and they would have to be paying a decent salary. So I assume $15 an hour for an hour and a half, maybe more. And then you have to think about the funding that you need for the consoles and the controllers and games. Now for the consoles and games and the TVs and the controllers, I think it would be around a couple $1,000s per school, maybe around 3,000 per school if they get multiple consoles, multiple TVs. Now the consoles don't have to be bought new; they can be pre-owned and they work perfectly the same. Same thing for games, so they could cut a little bit of cost right there. Now, the value this solution would bring would be incredible for the lives of the kids. Kids who have no ability to enjoy these games would now be able to in a safe and fun environment with their friends and classmates that would be regulated by workers who care about the kids and want them to have fun. Another added value to the kids' lives would be natural friendships occurring, more class morale as they're all interacting with each other after school instead of just doing it when they're studying or learning something. And I'm 100% sure that having a club like this would definitely attribute to having a higher attendance rate as kids would want to go play games with their friends after school. Now, if this solution doesn't pass or nothing of the same gets brought up or even tried out, kids who cannot experience games would likely feel ostracized and left out as they can't experience the same joys their friends can or be involved in the same conversations that their other friends might be having. If this solution was implemented, I believe it would have a great effect on everyone involved. The kids would love it as they would have fun with their friends after school. Their parents would love it as it would allow them to be at the school longer while also having a fun activity to do with their friends. And I believe that this club could contribute to higher attendance rates as kids would want to go to school and then immediately after go have fun with their friends. That's the end of the presentation, and I want to thank you for listening. Um, Hopefully, you go out in your community and find ways to support it as well. Everyone's voice matters, but this is just the idea I thought of in a way to support my local community is to help kids that cannot experience games with their low income and circumstances to have fun with their friends at school in a controlled and safe environment. Thank you for listening.